Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of our retrospective review series on Friday the 13th. As always, I am Jackson with Bored and Annoyed, and I am joined by Paul, who hasn't tapped out yet on the Friday the 13th journey. So, Paul, how are you?
I'm good. I think I'm getting invested in this.
You're getting invested?
The journey of Jason.
I think coming up soon in the story is the first main protagonist character gets kind of going, so hopefully that'll help with the investment. But part 3 we watched. Any initial thoughts on part 3?
Sorry, my daughter comes up the stairs. Perfect time. Part 3 was meant for the 3D theater, and it really shows. And what, honey?
No, that's perfect.
Yes, I can.
Did she enjoy part 3 with you, or no, Paul? Is she not allowed to watch Friday?
Oh, we destroy our children's minds. She can watch whatever. She wants her iPod connected. It was very 3D effect heavy. I don't think in 2020 you can on the back of my phone. You can find a 3D version without the glasses.
No.
And I think the only question that it really answered was where Jason got his mask, and I think that's pretty much all you take away from the movie that I remember, at least.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like every single scene seems to start with either a baseball bat or some sort of an object hanging in the foreground, just for the purpose of the whole 3D effect. It is, I would say, easily the worst one that we've watched so far. I don't even think it's close.
I think number 3 is number 2 to number 3 is to me as number 2 was to you, where you didn't like number 2 and I did, and
right.
But we both hate number 3.
Yeah, 3 is the worst one by far. Is there fun to be had? I would say when he finally starts killing people. I mean, the plot of this one is it picks up where 2 left off, kind of, but it's an unrelated batch of characters. And they go to a cabin, or one of the characters seems to have a cabin or has been there before. Yeah. And she's basically meeting her boyfriend, sort of, there. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to get in her pants the whole movie. He's just striking out the whole movie. But they show up there and they try to come up with this really out of place concocted bullshit backstory for her, where in the past she had run into Jason before.
Yeah, that was a little odd. And got away. Her parents were arguing, and she ran into the woods all distraught, fell asleep under a tree, which all these movies have really great weather for people to be skinny dipping at 2 a.m. and all these things. So Jason stumbled upon her and she got away somehow. So that was her exposure to him without his mask on. He was
I was confused too. So was that their family cottage then, or was that at her house? I mean, I was it didn't seem like it made any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, these are kind of starting to slip from my mind. I apologize. I know that they came in that big party van, and then there was the other girl who arrived in her bug. Everybody loves the VW bug right now in these movies. There hasn't been one without one in it. And usual, they're going up there to party and get laid. But I don't know. I can't remember whose cabin it was, to be honest with you. It was somebody's maybe it was a family summer thing. It had the big barn. I don't know. But yeah, she said my dad gets hay every season, even though we don't have horses. So it must have been a family something.
Right. Yeah. And it's like they tried really hard to give her a backstory so that you would care about something, but it's impossible to care about anything that happens in this movie.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it didn't even really have the TNA to save it. It was really bland.
No, it's very bland. There is the character who I thought was kind of the most fun was probably the curly haired guy who essentially keeps faking his death as a prank. Yeah. It's like they're setting up the boy who cried wolf thing.
Yeah.
He's good. Yeah, he was like a kind of an incel character, sort of, who it's like he's trying to he's trying to impress this girl who's like the third wheel girl who's brought along just so he has someone to kind of match up with, because when they go up to the trip, everyone seems to be paired off with a significant other except for this nerdy curly haired guy. And when he's doing the pranks, the way the mask gets brought into it is he's wearing the mask while doing like a underwater prank where he tries to grab the girl that he likes as like a joke, and then he runs off. He gets killed, and the next time we see Jason has the mask on, and I'm wondering if they didn't realize what they had with the mask. I would assume that it was just kind of a gag for this movie, and then it just kind of took on.
I don't know where the potato sack went, if it fell off in a strong breeze while he was running through the woods, but I think it was his instinctual, I'm ashamed of what I look like. I know it disgusts other people, even though I'm just going to murder them anyway. So I wanted to cover my face up, and that's why he just grabbed the mask as a there it is kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty fun though. When he first has that mask on, we do get a pretty fun kill with the harpoon in the face. But you brought up the point, kind of just texting back and forth, like, how is she not half naked when that happens? I mean, that just doesn't seem like, seems like a missed opportunity. There's a lot of that. There's a biker gang in this.
Yeah, a couple of hoodlums, and
it seems like half of the kills in this happen in that barn too. It's like they really were proud of that barn.
Yeah, that's Jason's new little hideout. So don't go in there. He's really good at hiding in those horse stables too.
Yeah, and you also brought up, by the way, that his face seems to have changed since the second film.
He found a barber and a plastic surgeon, I think, between.
He did. Now. 3. I think he was more grotesque in 2, wasn't he?
Oh,
like, yeah. He's got like the total like Quasimodo looking thing too. In this one, it almost just looks like they took a couple pieces of liquid latex and just wrapped it around his lips a couple times.
Yeah, it's not as shocking as number 2, that's for sure. And gosh, I know I'm jumping around.
No, go for it, man. There's nothing you got to really grasp to talk about this one. This one's worthless.
Yeah, with my COVID cocktail, I know we had our list of missed plot points from number 2.
Oh yeah,
if you had that document.
Did we actually write them down, or did we?
Did you? I don't.
I think I did. I think I kept a list on my computer here. But
overall. Number 3, we have yet to see. Before I forget, Jason has not killed an animal yet. I thought he killed the bunnies, but I thought that snake was a fake from, like, it was so 3D. I thought it was Jason setting a trap, but so we have not seen him kill animals yet. So he's got that going for him.
He's a decent human being.
Exactly.
He's got morals.
And he's not, I would say he is not supernatural yet.
No, I would agree. At the end of this one, I found the list. The only thing I had written down on there that we missed talking about was that in part 2, he does suffer a seemingly mortal wound when he is hit with an axe in the shoulder.
I thought it was a machete. I thought
yes, machete. I'm sorry, his classic machete.
Yeah. How did we miss that? What's wrong with us?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty important plot point, But how does he gets killed in this one too? He gets an axe to the head in this one.
Yeah, this one's pretty substantial.
So how deep did that axe look like it went? I mean, if he survived this, can we assume that he's supernatural yet or no?
Yeah, I mean, unless he has some sort of extra thick skull due to his handicap, and you're trying to tread lightly in the PC language of how to describe he's mentally handicapped. But I mean, it goes through, from now on, he has that cut in his mask where the axe was, so that's a homage to that. But if he survives this, then maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's anybody's head cut that deep is going to bleed if you're from a logical standpoint. But again, it's not a logical franchise. But I don't know. We'll see. I think his supernaturalness is clearly defined later in the series.
I would say so. Now, one thing we didn't talk about, by the way, which I just got a fucking kick out of too, is the biker gang in this. They go to a gas station, the curly haired guy and the chick he's trying to impress, and they run into this biker gang. And the biker gang, I can't remember even why they got upset, but they got upset. And they followed them back because he crashed his car into their bike.
He got some cojones on him, and he accidentally got some cojones when he backed into the bikes on accident, and then the guy breaks the windshield, and then he really gets angry and actually goes for it.
Yep, and then they follow them back. They siphon the gas out of the car, and they're going to burn down the barn, the all important barn that we need 15 people to die in. And that leads nowhere, really. I mean, there's no plot thing that happens with those bikers, I don't think, except for they all get killed, right?
Yeah. That's all. And so the whole plot for the movie is Jason is trying to get back to Crystal Lake after the end of number 2, right? Where is he trying to go?
I don't know. I don't know if he has it out for this girl. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on. It really was random. Like, the first 2 kills in this are these like gas station, general store people. And it was absolute nonsense. They have no connection to anything. You can't care at all about them.
No one of them.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. No, I know we're going the same place. Yeah, go for it.
No one wipes themselves after using the toilet in this movie, and that really got me.
Yeah.
WTF. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, once you can like forgive it for they were in a hurry, they just didn't think people would notice or whatever. But I think there are at least 2 ass wiping opportunities that are completely get right up from the toilet. Nobody wipes their ass in the movie in this universe, apparently.
Yeah, that first one was
not important.
The first one, those sounds were pretty unnecessary. It was kind of kind of yuck.
Yeah.
But maybe the second guy sat down to pee. I don't know. You never know.
Hey, you never know. That's true. They really missed out on some good 3D effect opportunities there too.
It could have been like Star Trek, this warp.
Right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. It was funny though, like the 3D stuff, like just totally contrived bullshit. There's like a baseball game in the street. There's a popcorn popping scene. Yeah. It was clearly made just as a 3D effects, gag movie. There's nothing to this at all. It
was pretty forced.
I'm going to be shocked if this is not the least entertaining, worst one of the entire series by the time we're done with it. I can't imagine it could be any worse.
I don't know. There's quite a few left to challenge us, but
that's true.
But for now, I totally agree. It didn't add much to the story. I like number 2 because it added to Jason's story. You didn't like number 2 because it was in a camp again. Number 3 was at a cabin near the camp or farm, I guess, if it has a barn.
Yeah. We think. I mean, we really don't know what the hell's going on.
The only thing it added to Jason's big picture story was he got the mask. And then the couple funny deaths with the harpoon gun in the eye. And
yeah, we get the deaths. The music's still pretty solid, I would say. All the movies seem to have the same. I think the same guy's done the music, at least through all the ones we've watched. His name is Harry Manfredi. Sorry, I'm going to butcher that. But he does all the music. There's this one gets a little bit more 80s in tone with its music, too. Like the synth and stuff kind of sound.
When my oldest daughter, I have a 6 and a 2-year-old, and so my oldest was gone somewhere, and the baby was with us. And that beginning intro to our video, that 80s synth, she was loving it. She was boogieing down. She was on the ground, spinning on her back, and it was funny to.
That's too funny.
Love the music.
Yeah, it is. there was something about that. You could just see the guy at his little electric key. He probably wrote it in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got like that classic tone to it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm giving this an F, by the way. This movie sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll give it a D- just because it tells us where he got his mask, and I did chuckle with that whole harpoon death.
The harpoon death. The deaths are okay again, I suppose. It's just so boring that they all happen in the barn. I did like when he got hanged for a minute. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
When they hang him out of the barn. But yeah, how did you feel about the mask, by the way? Like, do you have any other ideas for how you could have given him the mask other than this just happens?
The only far-fetched idea is that Jason had been watching these people and he kind of liked the curly hair kid that he was pranking, faking death and stuff. So I think he wears that mask as a homage to that kid, which is totally a dumb reason, but that's all I got. That's all I can really think of. Another way he could have got the mask is my entire new plot for number 3.
Okay.
Which would have been like a large search party looking for this murderer in the woods, and it would have ended with his shack being burnt down, and he would have had I think the mask could have been in a cop's car, and he was going to bring his kid to like hockey practice or something, and instead Jason got the mask somehow tied to this cop and his kid going to hockey practice. Just
it's something.
I just think that it could have been a better plot of what it was.
It definitely seems to me that they didn't even they weren't planning on this mask being this iconic thing, because I feel like if they reboot this series again, and if they're starting from the beginning, I feel like they are going to have some sort of a better explanation as to why he got that mask. I mean, we don't know. Maybe the test audiences or people, when they saw the movie, all 7 people that probably went and saw this, they probably really liked the mask. I mean, he does look badass in the mask. Yeah, it's a badass look.
Maybe his dad was a hockey goalie.
There you go. Yeah.
Could be as simple as that.
Jason's dad. I wonder if that's going to come up at all in the series.
I hadn't thought about that till just now.
Yeah, Jason's dad really doesn't get much respect as a parent, you know?
I haven't heard a thing about his dad in 3 movies.
Right. Nothing about his dad. Pamela must have been a single mother. She must not have been married. She sure had a lot of free time on her hands after her kid drowned, I guess. But
I think the only other thing that I saw was it at the beginning of number 3. They, in the recap, they showed his little shrine, and the girl from the beginning of number 2 was at his shrine mummified because you could see the ice pick in her head.
Yes. So that's a nice touch. So he carried that body all the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody sees him. Nobody ever notices him. You know, he's very slick.
Yeah, he's got some good stamina on him too.
Well, yeah, he carried it back. He's gone out. He's gotten a facelift. We'll see what happens in part 4, the final chapter. Are you ready for the last one? The finale of the series?
I'm all fresh in my head, in my mind with that one.
Well, hey, thank you, Paul. Where can people find you?
Yeah, search on YouTube, Tales from the Flipside. Our channel has a bunch of different shows. Our main show goes live Monday nights about 9:30. And other than that, check the channel out for different playlists, global comic safari of foreign comic book covers and Golden Age shows. And we're getting out there, so check it out.
Nice. Thank you, Paul. And again, I am Jackson, and you're already here, so you know where to find me. Have a good one, guys. Check out next week, Friday the 13th, the final chapter starring Corey Feldman. So be back.